Hello, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that is a fan of this show that has been following us. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome back. Those of you who are coming in for the first time, it's a pleasure having you here with us. And we're back to another special episode of this show. And today we're going to be talking to somebody who is going to be sharing his supernatural encounter and recovery from COVID-19. He had the illness and he had so many episodes. He had visions, he had dreams. At some point, it was like he was dead. So it's going to be an interesting one. And I want to assure you that this is a show that you don't want to miss. Please share the link with your friends. Share this on your wall throughout your social media platforms and invite your friends and families and everyone that you care about to join us because this is going to be an interesting one. I'm Joshua AMATARE coming to you live from Kyiv, Ukraine. And without much further ado, I'm going to be welcoming our guest for today all the way from Belgium. Please welcome Peter Ose. Hello, Brother Peter. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Pastor Joshua. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be on this platform. It's wonderful to be on DSA platform. It's a great privilege and honor to be on this platform.
It's wonderful seeing you alive and well because the world has lost a lot of people to the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's a thing of celebration when we see somebody who, of course, was able to recover from the illness and is able to even have testimonies and a transformational experience after, having the illness of COVID-19. So please tell us a little bit about what happened and how this whole thing began. When did you discover that you had the illness and how did it come about?
Actually, it was around September. I was feeling very tired, and the beginning of September precisely, second week of September. So I was feeling very dizzy, tired, weakness, cough at the same time. My mouth was somehow, and I thought it was just a normal, maybe normal pain, normal something. So, but that week I decided to go to see my doctor. So when I got there, I explained everything that I was passing through. All the symptoms, and he said there is compulsory, obligated that they have to do COVID test. I said, okay, I wouldn't mind. It's normal thing. I have to do it if it's necessary. So she did it, and then the next day she called me that I was positive, that I have to stay at home for a couple of days. So there was no...
At this time, were you going to work, or how exactly, did you have any idea of how you caught the virus?
No, the only encounter that I have, because normally for more than a while now, for a long time, I've not been, there's no party, there's no association, there's no coming together with friends. It's only work. And I don't go to shop mostly because my wife do all the logistics at home. And weekend like this, I've studied, or I went to football. I go to football with my son. At that time, the football was not. They were not playing because everything was
shut down.
So I was not able to identify or know where I got it from. So but what really happened is that beginning of September, I received a message. I didn't say it. I received a message, a text message from one of my friends from Nigeria. And that was, when I finished, I will send you that text. It was like four lines of one. He's a very close brother. We have been friends for 20 years. Wow. He's an apostle. He said to me that I should pray. I should pray and have my father to protect me, that he dreamt that I should pray for all my family. That was precisely on the 3rd or 5th of September. So I was just sitting where I sit now. I was about to study. It was on Saturday. And I just called him immediately and we talked, and he said I should just pray. I said, okay. Even before then, I was already having some kind of challenge, like my mind is telling me something strange, like I used to pray, worship. As I said before, I don't go to parties now. There's no parties. I don't go to I just try to concentrate on the things I've believed that God have laid in my heart to do that really concerns me, and bother of some things that I really want God to do for me and for people, So that very day, he said I should just pray. So I started praying. So before that, the second week, I had a call from Nigeria. I was working, I was in the afternoon shift. I had a call from Nigeria, and that call was, I didn't pick it because I was working. Then my phone was in my pocket because I was listening to DSA message. I put my earpiece on my ear. Though at a point, the music stopped, the message stopped, so I know that there was a calling. So I didn't pick it. So I thought I was going to pick it later. I'm going to call the person later. So when I checked, it was a call from Nigeria, a very close family. Then immediately I checked that call. My system just changed. My body system to have become scared. Something just telling me that something is wrong somewhere. All of a sudden, so I was not myself anymore. So, but that time I went to toilet. I just eased myself. I washed my face. Then I came back again. Then I started worshiping, praying more, singing more. Because what I was doing, I was alone on the machine. I was just controlling the machine while the machine is working. So I was alone. I have time to do things. So that passed. It was after that. Then the other week, I started having symptoms. So when I went to the doctor confirmed that it was COVID-19. So the only thing he told me to go and stay for some days so that we don't give it out and don't contact it to other people. So which I did. And the process, I was at home. The time that he asked me to come, after 2 days, I began to feel very bad.
Did your family also have the same challenge, or was everybody in the house fine except you?
Yeah, it was not. My daughter was positive too, my wife, but they were not, and my younger son, but they were not sick.
Okay, after you went for the test, you also told your kids to go for it as well?
They must ask them to come.
So when the test came back, all of you in the house were COVID-19 positive?
Except only my son, my other son, my boy, and he was not. So
how many are you? You, your wife, and 2 of your kids?
5 in number.
Oh, you guys are 5. Wow. Okay. So except one boy, the rest of you had the COVID-19 virus?
Yeah, it was really terrible. The boy was.
But you were the only one with symptoms?
Yeah, I was the only one with symptoms. My wife too, but it didn't last 1 week. And everything was, she was strong. She was a little bit dizzy, sleeping, and a little bit tired. But after 1 week, without a little bit, no medication, just only normal paracetamol, normal all this pain relief, or not antibiotic at all. They don't give you physician at all. So mine was really terrible. It's not something I've never in my life experienced that kind of thing before. So when after 2 days, the day the test came was on Thursday. Then on Friday was okay, a little bit better. Then on Saturday, which was on 21 of September, I was already feeling very bad. Sleeping, my strength, my heart is like pulling off. My legs were weak. The cough was serious.
Were you given any medication?
No.
So they just told you were positive and sent you home to go and stay within the confines of your house?
Yeah, the truth is that I complained that this is what the symptom I had. That is the reason they did the test.
Yes.
But they didn't understand the how do you say,
the symptoms you were having.
It was very serious. Yeah, it was very serious.
Okay, they didn't think it was very serious at the time.
They didn't know. Actually, they didn't know that it was very serious.
But didn't you tell them?
No, the first time I went to my house doctor, because before here in Belgium, you cannot go to the hospital direct, except it's emergency or something just happened that your doctor will still you call your doctor will now call the hospital, then if it is ambulance, they will send and everything. So that I didn't do because I thought maybe.
Okay, for those who are not Belgians, do you mean that every street has doctors that are designated to them personally, and only after
Yes,
that doctor
Belgium.
assesses you and sends you to the hospital can you go,
Yeah,
right?
in Belgium, everybody has a house doctor.
Okay. So
In
you only go to the hospital based on that doctor's
based,
recommendation.
based on the doctor's physician. Yeah, but you can go when it's serious. You call
When there's an
ambulance.
emergency, okay.
Emergency. Then from there they will now even ask your doctor. They will see everything on the system.
Okay.
What the illness you had before, what is wrong, and everything. They
All
will even
right.
contact your doctor if there's necessary to ask questions. This is how the system works here. You must everybody
Okay.
have.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah.
your house doctor, what was the communication with your house doctor like?
Yeah, because it's first experience, as I said, not something that I heard the story. People have it. People pass through these pains, and sometimes when people don't. They have it. They are not even. They don't have symptoms. They're just positive. So
Okay.
mine was different because of is there inexperience I would call it, or I don't know. But after 3 days, I was very, very weak. I should have called the doctor, but because I thought that he said go home after 1 week or 2 weeks, but it became worse. It became worse that I could not sit down. I cannot sit down. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. My legs were weak. My heart, when I'm talking, I'm breathing very fast, like on top of my, like that.
It's
My
like you
heart
were panting as if you just finished running or something.
panting, like my heart want to pull off.
Wow.
And so towards the end of September, it was really terrible. Everything, no taste. I lost taste completely.
Wow.
My tongue was practically dead. My tongue was practically dead. My hand became white. Like if I see my palm now is like red. You can see like there's blood flowing. Yeah. At a point when I go to the toilet, when I wash my hand, because my bedroom is opposite my toilet. So when I come out, I will just go there. For 3-4 days, I couldn't take my shower because there's no strength for me to stand.
Wow.
So I was not, it didn't even occur to me. Only one time my wife suggested that we should call the ambulance. I said no. At the point I lied on the floor, I would go to my visitor's room upstairs. I would be looking for a comfortable place just to lay my head, just to rest, because I was so reckless, so pain, cough on his own. My tongue, I would take my brush again like 3-4 times, try to see what is. I want to throw up. I want my intestines. So the 4 or 5 days, it became worse. Precisely from 25, 26, 27, it became worse. I was like, when I sleep, I'm gone.
Wow.
It's like I was in a deep sleep. It was difficult for me to close my eyes because it was scaring. The things I see, where I am, people I don't know before, people, it was just like that. I was in trance. I was like moving around. Like at a point, I was thinking I'm dead. My mind was telling me that I'm dead already. This is true. Wow. It's not. I'm not just. My mind was telling me I'm dead. But one thing was beginning to occur to me. My younger son. I was telling myself, who will be taking this boy to stadium? Who will be because he always come to me. Even while I was sick, he was the only person that was always coming to me. He will kiss my forehead. He will ask me, why am I upstairs? Even my wife don't even understand the pain. But you know that it was serious because I don't sleep like that when I'm sick. I'm not somebody that sleep that make do as if maybe I want to die. No, I'm not that kind of person. But he knew that I was.
But why didn't you go to the hospital throughout all this time? Why didn't you call the ambulance and go to the hospital for medication?
It's an answer I cannot give. It's a question I cannot give answer.
Wow.
I don't know why. Maybe God knows why. Maybe if I go to the hospital, they will fix. Because the way I was, they should have fixed all these things you see on the television. Because I was not having a single strength. My phone was I don't have time to even charge it, talk less on the phone. I think I remember when he started newly, the first day or the second day, I called Adelaja. He called me. I sent him a message. He called me back, prayed for me, and then I cannot. My heart like want to pull off. You understand? My heart wants to pull off. It's something that I don't even want. I don't pray enemy prayer anymore. Talk less. I want to pray for my enemy to happen to him. No, wow. I will not even pray for my enemy to happen. No.
So you had breathing problems. You could not taste anything. Your heart was pounding. You could not sleep. Your hands were as plain as if you didn't have blood in your body anymore. Yes. And then even when you tried to sleep, it's as if you're dead. You were seeing strange objects, strange people. It's like you were in strange places.
Yeah, that happened for a couple of nights, a couple of days, even daytime. But then after that happened, then I'm not going to say anything that maybe, because God is my weakness, what I'm saying, because I'm not going to say this is the date, this is not the date. I will only want to say this period, so time. But one particular time, when that episode finished, but I was still in pain. My heart was still paining my heart. It's like I want to pull off. I began to smell something funny, something strange. To the extent when my wife comes in, when I managed to come down, I will ask them, what is smelling here? My wife said, nothing is smelling, but the kind of funny odor, smell that I was perceiving from, whether from myself, I don't know. I was not able to eat or drink water because one time, 2 or 3 days before when it really started, water was my savior, and Coca-Cola, we call it cola here, and soft drink. So I would force myself, then it was not going at all. Water was even bitter, water, you know, there was a funny taste that I was feeling. Even all these things were just like, how do you say, what I'm going to use. I don't want to even see them or taste my mouth because my tongue was, Pastor, what I'm telling you, my tongue was white inside. It's like it's not part of my body.
Wow.
My legs, my heart, it's just like I feel that I'm breathing a little bit. I'm breathing, that I'm alive. My eyes are still open. But when I sleep, I'm gone. A journey, far away journey, that I was just away. Like I don't even know where I was. But after a couple of days, so that particular day was really, it was either the last Saturday of September or Sunday. It was on the 27th or 26th. I can't really remember that very day. So I slept on the ordinary floor in my bedroom, and I put my phone on a message, Adelaja message. So I put the earpiece on my ear. Then I was lying down. But I will not say I was listening. When I go off, I was still listening to that message. No, I don't even know when it finished. When I wake up, it was about an hour, 30 minutes message. So I just put it. I put my ears. I just lie down on my rug on my living room. Then I slept off. I was I don't know the journey that I went. So that day, it is the day I met my father. I saw my father. So I remember that I was going.
So in the dream, as you were sleeping, you saw your dad?
Yeah, I was going straight to a building. I was walking alone for a distance. I couldn't see anybody. So then I was going at a point. I saw the building was like on a hill, very white building, very, very beautiful. So my mind was telling me, oh, I've finally found a house that I want to enter. You know, then I got to a stage, I stopped. Then I couldn't move. So when I looked to my right side, somebody was walking towards me. So I turned, I looked. Then it was when the person come close to me, they didn't come close to me like holding me, or it would give me a distance. So I look at his face, it was my father. And I was happy. But when I look at his face, he was not happy. So the first thing he asked me, he said, where am I going? I said, I'm going to that house. He said, yes, he saw me. That is the reason he came. So my mind was like, this is my father, hug me. I've not seen you for like 27 years, for example. So I was like thinking that he should hug me, and he didn't He didn't come close to me. He didn't hug me. Then he now told me to go back. He said I should go back, that it's not yet time for me to come. He said when I come, I will meet him there, that he's living in that house.
Now,
So
your dad is not alive, right?
No. My dad died 1994, May 27.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't see him much like that. Occasionally, maybe 1 or 2 times since he died. So he was telling me he was not happy. Maybe I was feeling sad, like, this is my father, like, why is he, that was on that dream that I was. Then he asked me to go back. He said, because I have agreement that I have agreed with God that I want to do. I have signed, I should go back, that I have not even started. So he said that. Then I was not still convinced. I want to follow him. It's like, I feel that this is my father, I want to follow him. So later, he said I should go back. He left. He didn't come through when he came. He walked through straight. He was going to that building that I was seeing. And I freeze. I couldn't able to walk past there anymore. So I was freeze, like I couldn't walk. I wanted to follow him, but so at a point I couldn't see him anymore. So that is when I wake up. I realized I was on the floor, and I don't know how to describe the scenario, the pain and the way I was. I was practically not living, like I was in the middle.
You were just like a vegetable. You couldn't do anything, but you knew that there was some consciousness in you.
Yeah, in me, there was a consciousness. That is the word. There was some consciousness in me.
And at this time, you were still lying on the floor. On the floor.
That happened for like a couple of 3 weeks, or 1 month, not 1 month. 1 month.
Wow.
So after
you had this illness for more than 3 weeks.
Yes, that is why the doctor even told me that it's not. There's a language they speak here. It's not normal. He said it is not normal.
Yeah, it's a miracle that you are alive.
Yeah, they said it too. The doctor said it. So then, after that, remember the same day or the next day, because I still try to sleep. This under my dining table, my office here, I will come to sleep here. I'm looking for a position to put my head. I will be everywhere. Sometimes I want to sit down, I cannot sit down. I lie down, I'm tired. It's like I don't know what to do. My body, my joints, my foot, my back, when I take a step to the first step to my room, my living room, I breathe as if I want to pass out. So, when I came to Belgium, by 1 month in Belgium, I've said it before, my 1 or 2 months, less than 1 month, 2 months in Belgium, I met a friend who was a pastor, was an evangelist, that became a bishop. I live with him, and it's late. The other revelation or dream that I have, I saw him. So I was walking to a very place like a Jew. I was not seeing most people, but I know that is a building. It was a building, and I was walking towards there. The same scenario like when I met my father. Then I come to that gate. I was very close to enter. This was close. So he just came out. And I saw him. I was out like rejoicing. At the same time again, I could not pass there anymore. So he was talking to me from a distance too, like, that I should go by. He was now telling me that I have not seen his children for many years. He asked me especially of Junior Isaac, his son. His name was Pastor Dennis. It was Pastor Dennis Isaac. So his son was Junior Isaac. He was a little boy because they relocated to America. It was because his wife is an half-caste. So he was telling me why I have not seen Isaac.
So this is the second person who is dead that you're seeing during this period?
Yes, I'm seeing a very close person. This person I live with when I came to Belgium, he has set me in his house. Everybody, if any of my friends or people who know me in Belgium is watching this program, so they will can able to testify on that. That is not. I live with a pastor when I came to Belgium. I was not a Christian when I was in Nigeria, like Christian, like church boy. No, I used to go to church when maybe you have a girlfriend, say, yeah, let's go to church, and my mother would be dragging me to church. No, I was not really that kind of. Because going to church often like that, or I mean, I don't even know how to open Bible, talk less of if they quote Bible. I don't even
So
know.
he
John,
was the one that helped to get you saved and get you converted and then make you part of the church family and all of that.
He gave me this. I lived with him, so I started knowing about Christianity. Because my grandfather, my father, they are not even Christians. It's only this generation, everybody go to church. But on my mother's side, they were Catholic. My grandfather from my mother was a Catholic, but my mother was not, because married my father. My father was not a Christian. So, and when he told me that, it was described. He said I have to look for them. He said I have to look for them, and I should look for his son. I said, but for me, I want to go closer. This is a man that I really like. He's very friendly. He's very jovial. Was a young guy it's a story behind how he met me, how I started living with him, and all those things. Then all of a sudden again, he now showed me again Bible. He brought out Bible. I saw boldly written with God, Holy Bible. He said, this is your mission. You have accepted. Go back.
So did he give you a Bible, or was it a Bible verse?
No, it's just the Bible he showed me.
Okay.
Because that is I want to go back a little bit. In 2017, before I met Adelaja in November the same year, I was still in our local church here, African church. I was doing teaching. I started teaching there, 2014 precisely. I started teaching 2014. So 2017, I was in a dream. I was coming straight to I'm going to somewhere, but I saw this man coming to me, this same pastor. So I was telling myself, but they told me that this man, I didn't see him. I didn't see his corpse. They died in Nigeria. I was living in Belgium. He had an accident. So my mom was telling me, this man is not dead. Why did they tell me that he's dead? So he came close to me. He was standing, very tall, black guy, very tall like that. So I was like smiling, happy. He saw me. He said, "Where I'm going?" I said, "I'm going somewhere." So he said he wants to follow me. Follow me. We're a little bit this time. We're walking towards on the same direction. So all of a sudden we find ourselves in a garden, a very big garden, a park. So he was putting his hand back. Then later he brought it out. He gave me Bible. And when he gave me this Bible, and I received it, then he disappeared. There was a wind. I didn't see him when I wake up. So I told my wife, I told my mother, even then my former pastor, I told him, he told me, he said, we have to pray anything against death. He was the one that told me that. He said anything to do with death, I have to pray against it. Do I believe him then? Maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know. But I told my mother was saying, hallelujah, praise the Lord. I told a sister there in that church then, one of my friend's wife, he was a prayer warrior. He said, he said, that is a motto. He's giving motto. He said, but where I have to, that's what, how should not answer me, where will I use it? In Africa now, you must submit, because then they know I don't submit to them. I don't submit to the church because I was challenging the authority. So it was on phone when I told her the dream. He said, yeah, that is a great motto, responsibility God has given me. He said, but where will I use it? Because then I already have a crack.
So everybody was telling you that you got a mantle, but your pastor was telling you should pray against death.
Yeah, that lady told me, that lady that my mother told me. Another person that I told me. And he was the only one who told me that anything to do with the death, it's not good. Peter, we have to pray against it.
Okay. So,
and that's the same
you accepted that of the mantle, but you didn't know how it was going to manifest.
No, that was 2017. That was in February, March. We were expecting a pastor from Spain, Pastor Apostle Ima. I forgot his surname, from Nigeria.
Okay.
So that was a kind of close to the leadership of the church. So we were on fasting that period because I do take those things serious that time. So that is where I had that dream. So when I had that dream, I said it as normal to say to my pastor and some people, so that is what he told me. Then, after that, in April the same year, this is anybody that's watching will know. Even in Belgium, I have a friend that said I wanted to go to UK that year for Easter period, Easter holiday with my family. So something come on. I met this my friend. He said, he wants to go to Germany. There's a pastor in Germany in Newberg. He's very good. He's a very good pastor. And I said, okay, he's doing a 3 days program, dry fasting program. Then 3 days you don't eat. You will be praying, dancing, and everything. I said, yeah, I want to go. I told my wife. I said, I suggested. I said, instead of us to go to England, stay in a hotel, we spend money, and it's just ordinary thing. That let us go to Germany, Newberg. So, I mean, we have not already bought tickets for the ship to go to UK. So it was that week. So we changed our mind. We went to.
You wanted to go by ship?
Yeah, because Belgium, France, they call it Calais in border.
Yeah, like a cruise, right?
Yeah. You pay ticket or train. There's a train too. There's a ship. You drive in your car in, then you take you to the other side of UK.
All right.
So that weekend, Easter period, we drove to Germany. It was 7 or 8 hours drive to Germany, Newberg. So I have not met the pastor before. I have not known him. I don't know him before. So immediately we came, he just fell in love with my family, and it's a big compound that we were sleeping there. They are allowed to stay in a hotel. So the children have fun. He's a Nigerian man. He's taking care of some our people there that need helps. Although our mother, our young baby that is having children. So when I got there, I saw so many people. I admire him because of what he's doing. It's different from what I see, the system I'm in Belgium. Though we are the same African church. So then, that was in April, the same 2017. So on Saturday of it, we were prophesying, praying. I was sitting in the middle of the church. The church is very big. So I was sitting in the middle with my wife. Then he just came to me, and I stood up. He said, he just said something like, I don't know who I am. I said, who else don't know who he is? In my mind, I said, what this man want to tell me now? I was already like, just say what he wants to say, He said, I don't know who I am. I'm a builder, and God wants to use me to build. And I should be studying, I should be reading. Specifically, I forgot to bring the book out. He cannot give me a name of Robert. Is it Robert Higgins? Higgins.
Kenneth Hagin.
Kenneth Higgins, yeah. He gave me a name. My wife wrote it on a piece of paper in my Bible when he was telling me, he said I should be reading the map books that inspired me. I said, okay, for me, reading book, I can read 1 or 2 lines. It's done for me because I have not been in school for years, So I know I'm not that stark illiterate person, or if you don't go to school, you put yourself, assume that you are nobody. No, I'm not that kind of person anyway. So I said, okay, I just take note of it, So after the program, Easter Monday, we left, we came to Belgium. So he became having a contact with me to the extent that he was planning to bring a church to Belgium. So I can run it. So anytime I do go there on Christmas period. Christmas 1 year we did Christmas there. We came back on New Year to my house, and one previous time again. Last year I was there. Last year June, I went because he was still pressurizing me. He was still telling me not pressurized, telling me that he want to bring church to Belgium, and I said I want to go and talk to him. Because I've already followed my mentor, I already know the difference of Christianity, Christian thing. I already know, so I will not able to put myself or do what he's doing, and I then find out that is not my own way that God called me to do. So he knew it because he commented 2 or 3 times on my first 2-3 video, and he even called me to look for a house for him to buy here in Belgium because it's difficult to buy a house in Germany. I did. So there was one of his church member I know him. I didn't know that it was him because it was on my Facebook. I accepted him. So he was posting some things. So I challenged him with some words. So normal, our word, this Adelaja message is provoking some people, because they don't know the truth, So I forward some messages and articles to him that he knew that it is me. So not too long, the pastor sent me a message, and I called him. He didn't pick, and I wanted to tell him too that I found a house. I sent him a picture of the houses that I got here to buy. He didn't reply me till date. So I noticed that, maybe we are not on the same path anymore. So
he didn't like the messages you were sending and the fact that you did not take him up on the offer to open a branch of his church in Belgium.
Yes,
So that was the end of your relationship.
Yeah, because the last time I went into his church was in June last year. He brought a man from South Africa. I forgot the name. The man is from Congo. And the man was just, I would not say I regret to go to that program, but it was a holiday for me too with my family. I didn't stay. I went to stay in my car because he was just talking all jargons. He was just bragging with all school that he's building, the kind of cars that he have, how he will bless people, how God has used, about money, about all this kind of rubbish. So, and this man is not that kind of person, frankly speaking. And after the program that evening, because I'm leaving that night, I want to leave that night before daybreak. I want to get to Belgium early morning. I live around 4 in the morning. So when I come, I was staying in his office. He gave me his office. I would say that I was so free. Even some of his members were like, I can say maybe they were a little bit not comfortable with it, the way the man takes me, So he's from Nigeria. I say, Shaman, very nice man, very nice, kind man. So I called him when he came. I said, Pastor, do you know this man, this pastor that you? He said, no. He says he's a friend that directs him to, introduce him to him. And I said, Pastor, you pass this one, and if you do programs, if you do your own program, where I come the first time, he better pass this man on. He said, no, this man is anointing man of God. I said, so that means I cannot. There's no way, he have already said that, so there's nothing I will say it anymore. That man he tried to stop him for everything that he wants to do that day. Because he's not his time. We were there. He wanted to sell his books. He wanted to raise money. The man was trying to do all kinds of things that they do. Like this man, actually, this pastor, didn't allow him to do. But later, he started selling his Bible that he have a picture, his face on it. And our people started buying that Bible. People that is in Aduro house. People that, I don't know, that I was just telling, one guy holds the Bible, I think it was 150 euro.
What? For one Bible?
One Bible, Bible. The man picture was there. Because he marketed it.
Wow.
He marketed the Bible and he display it on a table there. And he have people that he brought to, maybe have disciples around Europe that he bring along himself to.
150 euros for one Bible.
He was selling.
All right. Bro, Peter, let's forget about this guy. Let's come back to your story, because if we continue talking about this guy, we'll be here till tomorrow. Please, let's leave him alone. Let's come back to yours and this pastor in Germany who wanted you to open the branch. I think you wanted to tell us about how he was connected to your work with God before you met DSA.
Yeah, he just prophesied. What I'm trying to say, he prophesied to me that in 2007 in April. So
in 2017 April, he told you that you don't know who you are, and he told you to read Kenneth Hagin's books and to study, and that God wants to use you and things like that, right?
Take me everywhere to bring the gospel, to preach the gospel of our Lord Jesus.
Okay. So this was after you had the dream of the Bible being given to you by your friend who was a pastor.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Same year. So
all right.
When I came back, and at that time, I always see myself talking in my dream, just talking. I would just be in the crowd talking. I would just be talking like teaching.
Okay, so it was like you were preaching to people, right?
Preaching to people, yes.
Okay.
After that the same year, especially the same year. But this happened previously in maybe like 2016. I would wake up and ask my wife, "Did you hear that I was talking?" My wife said she didn't hear that I'm talking. So
you thought that what you were saying in the dream, people could hear it in the real world?
Yeah, because I asked my wife two or three times.
Okay.
So So I was, one time or so in a crowd, and I saw so many pastors sitting down there. People, pastors that I know here in Belgium, some of them were looking at me. How did they call me to talk when they are here? Something like that. So I was not receiving those things. I was not accepting them. So that the same year, 2017, I went to Nigeria. I visited Nigeria. So I went to see that my friend, I told you that he called me to say, pray for this September. So I went to him, I bought him some things, he's a very close family friend. So, and I was checking his cupboard, I saw the books, Higgins book. I forgot to bring that book out. I can't remember the title now. I should have shown you the name.
You can go ahead.
I'll show you the name, Scream, Apostle is there, and the telephone number. So then I saw another one again. Another one with him was from Oyedipo book. So I think it was 2 or 3 books. 2 were from Oyedipo, one from Higgins. So I said, can I have this book? He said, I bought something for him. So why, if he has everything to give me, he will give me, if it is this one I asked. So I took it. I came to Belgium after the holiday. I tried to start studying it, writing a note, try to do something with it, but it was not going. I could only finish 1 page. That was around, let me say, October, maybe from August, October. It was not going at all. I go to my visitor's room. I've tried to do something, but it was not going. So it was at the same year, in November, precisely, that I come across Adelaja.
So how did that happen? Was it just a post you saw online?
So, actually, my friend in Finland, very close friend, very childhood friend, he was already following Adelaja for a very long time. Okay. So he always share. He pump up sometimes on my Facebook, because he's not a crowd. He's just talking. So I don't even listen. I don't even know before that, I've not even listening to his message at all.
You didn't consider him. You just scroll past when you're on Facebook.
When I see normally when somebody is on live or maybe it's programmed, somebody share it or something, we just, like that. So I did it for many times because that my friend was always following. He was following then. Anytime he share it, because we are friends on Facebook. So it was one Sunday. Then I was already they already took me from my position. The pastor was take all the position that I have. I do announcement, I do teaching, I do coordinate. So because the class is already there. So that I was sitting down in the front and he thought I was already listening to Adelaja. I don't
Wait,
know,
was this in 2017?
Yeah, this is 2017. This is
around
October. That is the last time was around October. That's the same period. That's the same November.
So why did they take all of the responsibilities from you? Were you questioning the doctrines of the church, or what exactly was the problem?
Yeah, because I challenged him a lot.
Okay.
I challenged him a lot. I started seeing, it started with the money issue was so glaring that he don't have control about money. He's so, how do you say it? I just started seeing that all errors about money is not sincere. And when we have a meeting, he do meeting with the headquarters in Antwerp. Then we were a beginner, nobody helped us when we were starting. And when he said we should be giving the pastor in headquarters 200 euro every month, I stood up, I said no. We just got a place. We were using government property, cafes, paying little, not electricity, not water, not bills much. So, now we have a place because we already have a place that we are paying close to bills, going to be like 700 euro every month. So I said, no, this is just the first month we have this place. If we don't want to help Headquarters did not help us when we were looking for these things. It's the money that we gather and everybody, not even from the church, everybody started bringing in. My wife bought the carpet, the chairs, not all those plastic chairs, normal chairs. One is almost 25 euros. With one lady, the other one brought rope, the other one brought cotton, or even the money that we all donated, we didn't use it. We were giving him. Nobody is taking account. Those things I began to question. There are other things that I said no. And there was one line.
Was this before or after you started listening to DS's messages?
No, before.
So even
before,
on your own, you could see that the things they were
yeah,
doing were not right, and you were questioning them, and you didn't get good answers.
yeah. So he was uncomfortable with the way I was acting because I was always, but when something's not right, I don't let it go. It's difficult when because I'm not saying I'm a bad guy, but when something is not right, I don't, I mean,
You like fighting for justice. You like making
for
things to be
justice,
right.
yeah, for justice, yes. So it happened continuously that year. It was that December period, 2017. Then I think we were doing Thanksgiving. The last time I went to church. Before that time, when he mentioned Adelaja's name when he was teaching, then when I came back home, I started searching in the evening.
So was it in a good way or in a negative way that he mentioned his name?
In a negative way, because he was like saying that he's trying to bring the kingdom of God down, that God have blessed him, God have used him, but they don't know. He just mentioned his name. They don't know what is wrong with him now. Maybe that's the reason I thought that he thinks I was already watching him. So maybe that message was for me to calm down, or for me not to watch him, because he thought maybe because then they were watching Adelaja before us, first people, and that is the reason they block people not to watch him.
So he was watching DSA and he thought that you were doing the same. That is why you were raising all of those questions, not knowing that you were not watching him at all.
Yeah, that is what I think. That's what I think now. Maybe I might be wrong, I might be right, but I'm just trying to see the picture of why he thought this guy is, how all of a sudden, because he knew that I'm humble to him. I respect him a lot. He's my younger, he's my junior. I respect as a man of God, as a pastor, yes. But when it comes to where things is not right,
you will stay quiet.
Yeah, so I don't stay quiet. So then when I came back home, I started following Adelaja. I started sharing immediately. So maybe because we were friends on Facebook.
You skipped a bit though. You said before you were just scrolling past, right? But then when you got back home that day, was that the first time you sat down to listen to a whole message? And then did you understand what was said? And did you agree with what was said?
No, it was not a message. It was when he was talking about the session in the church.
Okay. So you listened to the first full message for the first time. How did that feel? How was that experience for you?
Sunday. It was things that I know that is wrong. I know that some of things that is very, very wrong, but nobody to say it. I knew. I'm not too long in the church, like church boy. My mother was like, no. I was not that kind. But I knew that things were not, there's a talk that some things that he want to tell me, like, this is how we will do it. This is how we do it. So I'm not comfortable with those things. So I really picked, and the things that Adelaja was saying on those messages was the deception in the church, manipulation.
So you agreed with him and you were like wondering how come you had not started listening earlier?
Yes. I really said, who is this man? I was screaming, I was shouting. I ran upstairs to my wife because it was a Sunday evening. I ran upstairs to my wife and said, come and listen to this pastor. Come and listen to what this man is saying. He's all this fall and die, all this kind of thing. Look at it, man. So then I have not did research. If somebody can come out and be talking like this, that means I was not wrong. Though I didn't just say those things, but there are some areas that I was against. But this man is just saying things that I am trying to fathom. I'm trying to think about that is wrong. So that is where I said, okay, I still go to church the next Sunday. I was sitting down, nothing. Then that Sunday, our harvest. It was on the 8th, that the same year, I think on the 8th of December, so that year. So the headquarters, the pastor, the reverend comes, and when we finished, he told me, he said, he's a Benin man. He said, Peter, he was calling me. I said, I didn't see your missed call. Immediately, I knew what he wanted to say. And he said, I should not allow myself to be used and be supporting those people who want to bring the kingdom down. I just laughed. I wanted to reply very harsh, but I said, no, it's not necessary. And before then, they used, I think during that week, before that harvest, they used two ladies to call me from the church. We were together doing organizing the church. One is a big sister. Not big, but she's an adult. And the other one is my friend wife. And he said, Brother Peter, you have to listen. I didn't listen. I said, no, please don't. Because of this, you called me, I will beg you not to call me again. Please, I don't want to have problem with anybody. So you don't tell me who to watch on the Facebook. So long I'm not watching polo, I'm not posting polo, it's a God message. So don't tell me. Don't tell me. And these are people who pray in the church fast, who don't notice me. I said, no, I will not. No, please. I'm not a child. I'm not a kid. Don't call me to tell me this kind of thing. So that week, Sunday, I went to church. Then the reverend said the same thing. So when I came back home, I just took my phone and blocked all these people. I think they were like 5, 6. I blocked them immediately. I unfriended them from my phone.
You had enough, huh?
Yeah, the lady very close to me. One of them is the husband is my very close. Even till now, we are still friends. So the other one I blocked her, the pastor, the reverend, all of them, the wife, all of them. I just offend them from my face. So I don't want any. If anybody that I post that I don't want to see, let the person block me. The rest people, that's what I did. But this set of people, I blocked them. So that is how
You stopped going to church?
Going to the church. So I went back to my one church I was attending before. It's a Belgian Pentecostal church.
All right, so you stopped going to that church, but then you went to a Belgian church.
A Belgian church. They see my church today. We do online every Wednesday and every Sunday now. We do online services. Yeah. But then Adelaja was different. He opened my mind. That is essential, and that is anybody that don't want to believe. I believe time will tell people who believe. Everybody have a step of level of understanding. There are people who see the first time will believe. There are some people who take time. There are people who is waiting. There are some people who have not heard, because the mystery and the concussion and what they have put in these people's head, illusion, deceive, lies, manipulation, evil thought is much. It's too high. But I know the truth will always set everybody free. Truth will set our people free. I know that. I believe, I have great confidence. And God has showed me that even though people say, what this guy is doing, people that are very close to me or people that I know, maybe later they will know that them too have a responsibility. Them too, God is waiting for them in every sphere of life, every sphere of influence, to use them as well, to begin to see the truth, to begin to be a reality. Because we are living, most especially Christians, Africans, Nigerians, we are living in counterfeit, fake life. Fake, we pretend. We are pretending. Some people, when you ask them, I do call some people, I ask them, when we are talking conversation, some people say they just want to wear, they sew a nice cloth. No, Europe now, it's difficult to get party to go. Before this COVID, why they go to church, some of our women, some of our ladies, they just want to go and sample what they had, new shoe, new hair, new that. That's what they are telling me sometimes. That's the reason there's no change. That's the reason there's no fruit. Because the message is not hearing. The people don't hear it. People don't. I don't know how we are still fighting ourselves to understand that it's not working. The gospel they are teaching, or the theology or they are teaching is just too wrong for themselves, for their selfish interest, and to destroy people's life. It's difficult for people to understand, but it's the truth.
So back to your COVID situation. When you saw the vision of this your pastor who gave the Bible to you, you saw him again this time, and you realized that, okay, this guy is trying to communicate something to me. So what exactly was the message you got during that COVID-19 experience? The
message I got from when I started recording, let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you something. This revelation that I'm saying now, for the first 3, 4, 5 days, I didn't get it. I didn't even notice it. Okay, so whatever it is that you got in 2017, you didn't believe it, you didn't care about it.
No matter what the pastors told you, you didn't believe them
at the point,
up until now.
Yeah, when I believe I started studying, reading,
Okay.
doing things I'm doing now, I begin
All
to...
right. Sorry, we missed that part. So now that you started listening to DSA, you started reading for the first time, right?
Yeah, I started reading.
You were able to now finish a page. You were able to finish one chapter, and you were able to finish a whole book, right?
Yeah. I think my first book from Adelaja that I finished towards the end, I got what I want to get. It was Life's Opportunity.
Okay. Life is an opportunity. So for the very first time in how many years you were able to finish one book, huh?
Yeah.
And then you didn't stop there, you continued.
I continue.
Amazing.
Church is a breeding ground for saviors and deliverers.
Wow.
Church cause economic recession. How church creates economic recession. And then I didn't finish it.
So intellectually, your brain and your mind, mentally, everything opened up.
It opened.
Wow.
Talk a lot now. I don't have a conversation with anybody that I don't chip in positive of words. I will make sure you understand me. Maybe not one time, not the first time, not the second time. Anytime I'm having a conversation with her, I shift the conversation to reality.
To kingdom matters.
Kingdom matters. The reason, even today when I came back from at the airport, my friend called me when we were talking about something. I shifted again. We were talking, and he knows me already. He lives here in Belgium. He's a very good guy.
For people who might not understand what you're going through, what class did you stop in your education?
I stopped when I was in class 1 on my second term.
You stopped in primary 1?
No, class 1.
Class 1, that's in secondary school?
In secondary school, class 1.
Okay, so you stopped in JS1, and since then you have not gone back to school?
Yeah, that was in 1984.
Amazing. So you see, I just wanted people to understand that what you were going through, that you're somebody who has always relied on handwork to survive and everything, so that they can see the shift that you have made. That you're now, so for somebody who stopped in JS1, you're now reading not just one book, but multiple books. You're able to write, you're able to stand in front of people and talk about things that even so-called university graduates don't even understand. So that's a tremendous change that has taken place in your life. Just within a short period of how many years? This was 2017, right? And we're in 2020. Yeah. So within 2 years, you have completely become a different person.
That's right.
From not able to read 2 lines to be able to read multiple books.
No.
Wow, no. Amazing. All right, so please take us back to this COVID story that you were telling us. You want to say something?
Let me go back to the COVID. And what I'm trying to... the reason I decided to share this on the platform, on this platform, when I discussed with Adelaja and said, I started remembering, let me go back a little bit. I started remembering after when I started getting better. Something began to change after those encounter of, if I have entered that house, maybe I should not have come back. If I have been received by these people, I should not have come back. Now, I started seeing those things. I started seeing it. Then I started remembering. Then I became recovering. My recovery was now another mission. I was eventually everywhere. This is now not like seeing the death. It was about solving problems, speaking, talking, going where, making conferences, seminars.
So this is what you started seeing as you were recovering from the COVID-19?
I was recovering, yes.
So each time you sleep, you see yourself holding trainings, doing teachings and preachings and things like that.
Yeah. Gathering people together, begin to bring people, tell them this, begin to, trying to bring out the personality, the importance of men, what I'm going to do. People who are they don't even count. Just before now, I was not really emphasized or know what I want, the area that I want to really tackle. But I was thinking I want to do seminar. I'll go to the mechanic. I'll go to the drivers. I'll go to these conductors. I'll go to everywhere. but I didn't really know how to start it, how to begin. So when I started speaking, I present Adelaja book on one of my dreams to the governor of my state, for example. I present his book, and he said, "Wow."
So you met the governor of your state in your dream,
Yes.
and then you gave him one of DSA's books.
Yes. I met him on my dream. I was said, if we want help, these are things that we instrument. We want to start it from kindergarten, from school. Let's begin to build the mind of the people. I was making a speech in one revelation or dream that I had. I was not having a piece of notes. I didn't write, as I speak, I don't write anything. There's nothing, because it's true what I'm telling you. So I was talking then. When I finished, I said I have something to present. I present these books, a couple of books that I wrote about Nigeria and about church, about building, about personality, about truth. They called me, like he received it and said he wants to go and study them and see it's true. So that is how I wake up.
So did things become clearer to you about your purpose and your calling after that?
Yes.
Wow.
Because
so that means COVID-19 was a blessing in disguise, because you didn't have any of these revelation and visions before that illness.
No. I was planning, like I always say that my mission is not here in Europe anymore. I've been saying this thing even maybe not now. I'll tell my wife, look, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I want to go back to Nigeria. It's not that I'm home. The house I'm living is mine. I have a car, I have a job, I have a wife, I have children, I have kids. I'm not lacking, for example. So, but I still feel before now, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, that if I have opportunity, I will go and set up something in Nigeria. Then my wife said, it's only you like Nigeria too much. It's only you that will go to Nigeria. Nobody will follow you. So we'll use it as a joke.
But your wife is Nigerian as well, right?
Yeah, she's in Nigeria. She's from my state. We are from the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she was not catching that vision of Nigeria that you had.
What do you say?
She was not catching the same vision that you had for Nigeria.
Yeah, even till now.
So in spite of all the revelations that you've gotten, she's still yet to be converted.
Yeah, she's okay. Now, I mean, what do I say? She left Nigeria when she was 21 or 22, and she was not that, how to say, that she's too close, and she don't like you to hurt him 2 times.
Okay.
You better just stay away. So I'm trying to change some things about her, like that.
So she's an introvert. She's not somebody who is outgoing and all that.
No.
Okay. No problem. With time, she will catch up with you. DSA said he had the same challenge as well when he got married. Remember his story?
Yeah.
Of how Pastor Bosse said, I'm not marrying a pastor. I don't want to have anything to do with ministry or the church. It's all about you. So that's fine. But eventually, she was, she's now pastoring 2 churches and DSA is at home.
She has said the same thing to me in that 2018. So we went to our new church, the Belgian Pentecostal church that we are going now. We went to a retreat, family retreat, in outskirts of the city, so the big place. I've been in Belgium, I've not been to that place. Very beautiful. So they organize a family retreat to know each other more. There are medical doctors there, there are lawyers, there are retired civil servants, there are business people, there, that church. So most of them, 95% are Belgian. So then we went to that retreat. So we begin to introduce ourselves. So I was in our room on Sunday morning, because we did the service there that very day before we left. We were there since Friday evening to Sunday morning, after service. So I didn't know that maybe somebody heard that I was praying, worshiping in our room while everybody was busy playing games or, in the hall. So that day when we finished service, the main pastor, because they don't usually have pastor, if you can do something, they give you opportunity to do something, to preach or to teach, to do anything. But they speak their language. That's the reason I have not really teach. And they are telling me now that recently that when the church starts again, I can speak English, they will interpret it. And they just told me not too long ago. So, and when we were not finished, we were gathering ourselves, holding our hand. We have another brother there, they call Peter, the Belgian guy. And I heard that the coordinator of the church, like the pastor, he said, Brother Peter, will you pray? Because we were closing our eyes already, and I didn't know that it was me. He said, the other one, I said, Brother Peter, Andrew, it's you. So, wow, I was a little bit shocked. So I prayed. When I finished praying, I worshiped and I lived briefly, then I prayed. And they were not talking to me. 4 of them gathered, we were talking. And my wife came to the conversation and said, yeah, I've been married to a pastor. You don't even think, because they were telling me that I have something that they were still telling me. They were just discussing about calling, about what I'm doing. They really like my kind of. So my wife just came into the conversation that I didn't marry a pastor. So I was laughing. She was very serious. She was very serious when she was saying it. And the other brother is a Nigerian guy, is my very good friend. He said, he was telling me, Sister Julia, don't say that. He said, no. You have to stay.
I like your wife there. She's very open and honest about what it is that she wants. She say, look, I didn't marry a pastor, I married a businessman. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not ready for ministry. So the ball is in your court. But eventually, when they start seeing manifestations of God's power, and when they start seeing how much change is coming through the kingdom, they would find their place in the kingdom as well. It's not, I believe it's not something that you can really force anyone to do. Eventually, they will see it for themselves that they need to get involved, because that's the essence of life.
That's right. Yeah. That's what
so tell us more. You saw yourself giving your governor books and solutions to problems that they were having in their state. And what other visions did you have?
Yeah, I began to, just a couple of days ago, I was just meditating. I said, I have a name already, because first of all, you have to have a symbol, a name. So that name was brought from the day I did solitude before my interview with you a couple of months ago. Mm-hmm. So I wrote out that name, Freedom, Truth and Power Ministry. So I wrote beside it, Freedom, Truth and Power Foundation. So okay. I called my brother in Nigeria a couple of months ago, around May or June, July. I said see how I'm going to register a foundation. So I called a couple of friends I know before that good heart people that will be on the board. Mm-hmm. Calling a friend of mine lives in UK, another one lives in UK, another one in America. I spoke with them and they said, if it is me, they don't have fear. My friend is a childhood friend of primary school. He works in a hospital. I don't know if he's a doctor or he's a nurse. Now, I think he's a nurse. He's in America. He's in, I think, Dallas. So we're both from primary school 1 to primary 6. So he's very happy. He even argued with me that he thinks I went back to school again. I said, no, I didn't go back to school. Because we just...
Everything you know is self-taught, self-education.
Yeah, self-taught, yeah. But he is a Christ. We have a difference a little bit. He is from Christ Embassy, so we blast each other most of the time. We have different. Well, because that law, we were together in one seat for this year. We were really good friends. So we didn't see for a couple of years before, just recently, last 2 years or last year, started talking. So he's on board. So I have.
What is your foundation going to do exactly? What kind of change, or what is your focus?
You know, I'm seeing. Having a vision that to help people, give you 5,000 naira, 6,000 naira is good. But there are things that you have to don't give me fish, teach me how to catch fish, for example. So there are so many people which my focus is more of the people who have abandoned. Most children I see go to Nigeria. I see most children under age 10 years doing conductor. I see them in the ring road, in the cities, both men, women. So I intend to start from mentoring. You want to learn work? You want to go to school? What do you want to do? But you have to listen first.
So you want to help to change people's mindset before helping them get into school, or help them learn a handwork so that they will have good values going into all of those places, right?
Yes. And it's coming to me more and more now.
Okay. So there's clarity that comes on a daily
Clarity.
basis. But it all
Yes.
started with the COVID-19 visions.
Yeah, vision. Yeah. So
Wow.
I began to see that people think it's difficult to fix Nigeria. I'm on opposite their thinking, because
You believe
I
it's easy,
I believe it's not easy, but
but you believe it's possible and it's
it's
doable.
possible. Yes, it's possible, because we are human. We are from God created us.
Mm-hmm.
You know why I set example last 2000, that's December 2017, when I said I visited Nigeria.
Yes.
I think that year I went alone. Yeah, it was the second time I think I went alone. I went to visit Nigeria without my wife and my kids. I was in a garage where not a motor park, where they say spare parts in Benin. Any Benin person will know, not to Wello, they call it Igun spare parts, the heart of Benin there. So my car was giving problem. The kick was not starting well. The air condition was not working well. So I said, let me just take it to those people, not other roadside mechanic, or those people, they have the parts there, the safe parts. So I went there. So it was raining. At the point they have not finished, it was raining, and I have a lot of appointments to catch up with that very day. So I just said, it's not this man's fault. Let me just relax. So as I was staying in his workshop, his store, and even the zinc was even dropping. Everywhere was like messed up. And all these men, they are adults. They were just arguing, talking about governor. The governor is bad. This one have money. They were just talking kind of
Typical Nigerian environment.
Yeah, argue about themselves. So I was just watching. My mind said, just talk. Just leave them. But I couldn't resist it. So I was a little bit distant from them. Then I dived into the conversation, and I was able to catch up their mind. They all silent and listening to me. I break it down. You are blaming everybody. You don't blame yourself. I said, now when you get home, what will you tell your wife or your kids that you didn't get to? I said, I'm here for like 6 hours now. I want to pay you money. You waste my time, you waste your time. So is it the governor that caused it? He said, wait, they don't build place for them. I said, no. You see this place, there's a gutter under, and or it's only a plank to cross to your workshop. I said, why can't you build it with cement and put it under so that it don't sink? Then you have a place to park my car and buy just a satellite and put this transparent zinc, plastic transparent zinc, so that you can see what you are doing, and buy a rechargeable light that you'll be able to walk. Why? I say all of you here that have a shop now can park two cars here, and you will be walking, and you will fix your office. You look at your store is running. And I mean, I asked him, how many years have you been here now? He told me 22 years.
Wow.
He said, but no, he's not the one that owns the asset, but you have been working here.
So he's been there for 22 years and he cannot work when there's rain.
No, and the store is leaking.
Wow.
So from the world, from everything, I missed, like, you don't need more teaching. You don't need to quote and all those, you enter toilet in Germany and come out in France. As Suleiman said, you don't have to take that. Those are just
fallacies.
Fallacy. You know, just tell people this is reality. You are your problem. How? Because you are not doing the right thing. Because you are not hard work enough. How do I be hard work? Put more effort. Have trust. Let people trust you. Have kindness. Just be yourself. Do your best. Learn more. You learn electrician 5-10 years ago, and the cars the white people is doing now I mean, you have money, you have a workshop, you have a wife, kids, you have 3 girlfriends outside. Then you say which is after you, which is not after you. You're after yourself. Probably you finish from workshop, you go to beer parlor, you drink 10 bottles of beer, then you go home and tell your wife that there was no job. I was telling them a lot of things. Reality. The man, because I saw Winner Shepherd different sticker on his door. So when I finished, when the rain stopped a little bit, he just went to close to my car. He folded his hand like this. He said, you say you live in abroad? I said, yes. He said he has been working for people that come from abroad. He have never seen somebody who talk the way I talk. The the way things, he said, and he had never had this kind of thing. It's like, this man, it would be like 50-something years old, man. He asked me, he said, can I come another day or tomorrow? I said, I don't know if time permits me. But I didn't have the time to go. Because we only have 3 weeks or 1 month in Nigeria. You want to start, you want to do this, do that. Before you know it, everything is finished. But I want to create that time. I know I went to another area where Igbo people sell ties and all these material things. There were arguments. One guy was telling them when they see the police, let them stone them to death. The guy was just like talking out of there, and somebody that they are looking onto. I shot that guy down immediately. I said, that police that you want to stone to death is a father, and is a brother, and is a husband. He has family, he has life.
What's a human being just like yourself?
A human being, yes. I said, what difference between you and him is just because of the uniform. He said, because they're no good. They have been complaining. I'm telling you 2 years ago. I said, they are not the problem. The problem, those ones that are in the street are not the problem. Those are in the office are the problem. So the guy was trying to Europe. I said, which country have you been in Europe? He wanted to brag. I said, which country have you been in Europe? I've been to like 7 countries in Europe. So tell me, even in Africa before I traveled, I've been to like 6 African countries. Tell me, which country have you been in Europe? He's not quiet. So he wanted to brag. So I now calm down. I started telling those people, or even the guy that wants to sell something for me, all of them were, even people that came to buy something, they were all watching. That is the reason I said, every time I speak with a great mentor, I said, people are waiting. There are people who want to hear just one word. There are people who want to see. There are people who only whisper, have you heard what is in town and what is going on? There are people, they are not fanatic Christians, but they love Jesus. They want to serve God, but they take advantage of them. Because they love Jesus, they have the fear. Those pastors and Jews don't have the fear of God, but those people have, because it's what they told them. Imagine for 40 years, they'll be telling you the same story. Change it today, say this lie today, manipulate it tomorrow, don't question, don't do that, don't ask the man of God. They are confused. Nigeria are the most smartest people. I'm telling you, believe me. Believe me. It's just to echo different thing. It just seems simple. You have been practicing this for 30 years, 40 years. Some people have died. To practice this one, do this like this.
Just give it 2 months, 6 months.
6
and
months.
You see the difference between that time and your 40 or 30 or 20 years of what you've been doing before.
There was another guy again. He's a manager to my friend hotel. He's from Benue State. Very brilliant young boy. Peter. Peter is his name. He was a deeper life guy. I work on him. He's a very good guy. He will leave his job duty and go to Deeper Life Church. One day he asked me to carry him. I said, well, he said he's going to church. I said, you going to church? He said, yeah, he left somebody there. I said, if I'm your my friend, if I'm here, I will sack you today. I told him. He was shocked. Because he respects me, you know.
Yeah, he expected that you celebrate the fact that he's going to church.
Yeah. He said, bro, you are a Christian. I said, yes, I'm a Christian. But you don't play with your job. Today is not Sunday. Today is Wednesday or Friday or whatever. You will be going there every week because we are doing one program. So it was that day I dropped him down on the way in Ring Road. So it was that evening I called him. I talked to him. And in my friend present, I told him, I said, okay, when this guy come out, go church again, weekdays, sack him. It's not serious. He was surprised. I can say that. So that is how all of them is. They was run to church. So I said, for me, those things have to stop. That is how I started talking to this boy. He's still there. The kitchen was like, I asked him, apart from managing and all this thing, what do you do? He said he learned catering. The caterer. Wow. I said, then this one thing that the hotel lacked then was food.
And he's a professional caterer.
And the professional caterer, the people there, they are employing, we just run away. Maybe, I don't know, they will steal money, they will just gather money in Nigeria now. So, and my friend doesn't stay there much like that. So I now told him, if you learn this, you can do and manage it together. Later, when you start it, you will not put person and your eye will be there. As I speak to you, till now, it's 3 years now. After we talk, coincidentally, it's not because I just said my word and it was done. I just gave him some insight and everything. You know, we were coming from 2018. That was 2017. We were coming from somewhere, and my wife said, I just saw a goat meat. We just buy it and buy yam. I said, if we go to the hotel, we just wanted to prepare it for us. So when we prepared it, I said, okay, and the one that remains, serve it to all the workers. Just make sure you dish it to everybody that is on duty today that can reach. So the next day, I just quickly asked him how many people. He said there are 16 of them, including me and my wife and my mother, my friend mother, because she was in the hotel that very day. I said, okay, how much if you want to say that? He said 2,000 naira. I didn't calculate it. He gave me a figure. I said, do you know how much we used? It was not even up to 6,000 naira. Let's divide that money into 3, remove the money, remove the hotel services, and take the other profits. Then you still have like 4,000 naira in just less than 2 hours. You know, the next morning I was looking for him to tell him that we are leaving, I'm going somewhere. Then they said he was here now. I didn't say that, then I left. I came back in the evening, he was in the kitchen. I said, did mother give you money to cook? He said, no, but he's just been cooking since yesterday. I told him he has gone, this guy went to the market and discussed with my friend mother that he wants to take over the kitchen. He wants to manage, want to see. That very day, he said strange. He came back from the market in the afternoon. He has been, and that was around 8 o'clock in the evening. He was staying in the kitchen. He was not using 3 gas. He was using small one, make it pepper soup.
Suddenly he caught the vision and he started doing what he was supposed to do.
Yes. So you're going to do to pray. When
you already have a degree in catering. What are you praying about?
What are you praying for? Just pray for strength. You pray for knowledge. Pray for understanding. Wait. When you pray, enemy die, let me die, don't let me die. You are yourself problem.
At least even start doing the one you learned before you pray for more, right?
Yeah. Then your mind will be, look, for example, I said before I was very, very shy. I was thinking, what people say if I want to do it? They say, because everybody are doing social media, you want to do social media. I was like, how to say it in English? I have that prejudice, that mindset that no.
Like an inferiority complex.
Complex, yes, very complex. So, but at the point I said, no, I don't care. I've seen 10 principles of overcoming prejudice. I read it in Adelaja book. Mm-hmm. I wrote it up. I said yes. Everything I do, let me do it and do it good. I started practicing it. I put it on practice.
Wow.
I do the video, I shoot it and do live confidently, for example. And I speak, I talk, anywhere I go, I want to show myself, yes. If you want to challenge me, let's.
Amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you can hear what Bro Peter all the way from Belgium is telling us today. And please share this link with your friends. If he could experience so much change in such a short time, the same thing can happen to you. He's talking about self-confidence right now, and you could hear the ideas he was giving to people who were mechanics, people who were working in the hotel. Wherever he goes to, he has become a solution. And it's possible for you to become like that as long as you're willing to put in the work to change yourself from the inside out. I've met a lot of people who say, oh, I'm too shy, I don't know enough, I'm ignorant, who am I? If you ask yourself all of these questions, there's a solution, and it's study, it's self-education. He stopped school in JS1, and you can see how bold he is. You can see how full of ideas that he is, and that he has. And it's not about, him doing some kind of special prayers or things like that. He was willing to put in the work, to listen to the messages, to read the books, to write down the ideas, and to just develop himself. And you can see what he has become today. And it can happen to anybody. What happened to him, as unique as the COVID situation was, the rest of the process leading up to that point is not unique to him. You can do the same thing. You can study, you can pray, you can read, you can write, you can listen. All of these messages are free on DS's platform. Just go to YouTube right now and just type in, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, just go to Dr. Sunday Adelaja's page on YouTube and you see every single one of this series. The ones that would help you develop who you are as a person, help you find your calling. He talked about confidence. If you have any complex, how to overcome those complexes. If you want to make money and you want to get into business, there are principles of business as well over there. If you want to learn how to pray, if you want to learn how to study the Bible, if you want to learn how to know God, all of these things are there for you to be able to study for yourself and develop yourself into the person you want to be. So let's go back to Bro Peter. So Bro Peter, finally, before we leave today, what message will you have for us? Since you've miraculously recovered from COVID, you're now a completely different person. Thank God. Although I will not advise people to do what you did. Please, if you're sick, go to the hospital for the love of God, church, and nation. Don't do what Bro Peter did. Go to the hospital and try to make sure that you are attended to, because you were sick for over 3 weeks and you had no medication at all. It's a miracle that you are alive.
No medication?
Please go ahead.
So I just want to thank God first and foremost for preserving my life, giving me the second chance, because I'm nobody. I don't know if I deserve it to survive, or what I passed through, or what I went through. And I just want to advise our brothers and sisters that Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. And it's not those rocket science they are teaching, or those things that it's not possible to please God. No, it's just for you to believe and have trust and love for people, and have passion and have kindness, and begin to practice the love of God, because Jesus stands for love. He's our mentor, he's our savior, he's our deliverer. Each and every one of us have the same abilities. For you to discover whom you are, that is our major challenge, and that is what we are not being told for the past many years of being Christian. You are not being told that you are a savior. You are not being told that you are a deliverer. You are not being told that you are a problem solver. You are not being told you have to take responsibility. You are not being told that you are important in the eyes of God, that you are made with the image and likeness of God. You are not being told. The only thing that you are being told is enemy is after you, witchcraft or whatever ancestral cause. I mean, we have overcome by his word. We have overcome in the book of Luke chapter 10, verse 19. He said, he have given you power to step on serpent and scorpion. He have given you power. He said, nothing by enemies will one kindness. You overcome. Death will come, will be overcome. He said, appointed not to man to die, after death is judgment. But that judgment, what are you going to judge with? Is it just pass by and you didn't have any responsibility, or you didn't take any responsibility, you were not able to contribute here on earth? Because the Bible says you have given us the earth. It said, let thy kingdom come, let the will of God be done on earth. So brothers and sisters, I want you to have trust in God, have a relationship with your Father. It's our Father. He will never, never let us down. He saved me. I was a point of death. Is it truth, what I'm saying? I want you, if you like, you believe, and I don't believe, but I know what I'm talking about. He has renewed my spirit. He has renewed my strength. I have more confidence. I have more trust. I know my purpose and direction, what to do. It's left for me yet to do the message and go to the message that you have sent me. Thank you, brothers.
Wow, what an amazing message. Thank you very much, Bro Peter. We're so happy that God, delivered you and kept you from that, and use that opportunity to enlighten you and make you see things differently. Because prior to that time, in spite of all that you knew, you were still struggling. But we thank God for the clarity, and we believe that every single person that is listening to us, God will grant them clarity about what he wants them to do as well, to his glory and to his praise. So thank you very much for coming today. It's great to see you healthy and strong. We pray that God will keep keeping you strong. And like you said, you've not even started. This is just the beginning. So we look forward to hearing more of the exploits that you're going to do. And we believe that your governor is just going to be the beginning of the places where you're going to have influence. because of how much you've dedicated yourself to gaining knowledge, understanding, and doing the will of God. So thank you very much for coming, and God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Joshua, thank you for having me. And my regards to everyone. God bless you too.
Yeah, they would hear. Okay, bye for now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Bro Peter Osse all the way from Belgium. And what an inspiring story, and what a miraculous story as well. A lot of people, more than 500,000 people have died from COVID-19, but he fell sick. And in spite of how hard it was, and in spite of how close to death he was able to come back by God's grace, and he had visions that has now given him clarity, and he now has a foundation, and he now has a focus, and he's walking towards becoming a solution wherever he goes. Every single one of us can accomplish the same thing. The same God who showed him all of the things that he went through is the same God that he serves. And like he said, God is our greatest mentor, is our greatest guide, is our father, is our king, and all he wants is a relationship with us. And many of us, we've got visions. God has shown us some things. And like he said, he's always been told, he has seen visions, and he knows there's been inklings that he's a man of God, and he's somebody who is supposed to help teach and bring people up. But he kept rejecting it. And that's the story I hear from a lot of people. We are very good at pursuing whatever it is that we think we want, and we ignore what God wants us to do. So I would just want to encourage us today that whatever it is that you think God wants you to do, the earlier you embrace it, the better. And the earlier you begin to walk towards accomplishing the purpose for why you're here on earth, the better. A lot of people are distracted by money, they're distracted by status, they're distracted by their current situation, and that has made them to want to disobey or go against the heavenly call that is upon their lives. But whatever it is that God has called you to do, I suggest that in spite of what you've studied, in spite of what people say, pursue it, because that is where your influence really lies, and that is where the fulfillment of your purpose really lies. And at the end of the day, like Bro Peter said, you're going to stand before God, and you're going to have to give account of the time you've spent in this world. And God is going to say, hey, I gave you this, that, and the other. What did you do with it? You're not going to tell God that, hey, God, I studied this and that, and this is how much money I made. None of those things count when it comes to the kingdom. What counts is what you did with the potential, with the anointing, with the grace, with the gifts that God put in you. And I believe that as you pursue your purpose, you will have fulfillment, and you'll be able to really make a difference in this world and shine as light to the very ends of the earth. If you want to understand how to find your purpose, there's a mentorship program for you. And that's something that Dr. Sunday has been running for a while now, and it's titled, Who Am I? Why Am I Alive? That's one of the questions that we must answer as individuals. If you don't know why you are alive, you're not yet living. It doesn't matter how rich you are, or how famous you are, or how happy you think you are. Till you discover why you are alive, you never really begin to live. Also, if you want to understand how to make money, now money is very important. The Bible says money answers all things. If you want to understand how to make money so that you can be able to really make an impact in the world, there's also a mentorship group for that, which is titled the Millionaires Club. Just write to mentorship@godembassy.org, mentorship@godembassy.org, and indicate to them that, hey, I want to learn how to make money, I want to become a millionaire, or I want to find out why I'm here, or I want to do the both. And you'll be instructed on what to do. And I believe that as you begin to follow, the instructions given to you, just like Peter said, you'll be able to become a sign and a wonder, and clarity will come. You'll be able to really make an impact in this world and leave your mark and begin to really live a full and a rich life. You were not born for your job. You were not born to make money. You were born to, represent God and become a solution to a specific problem or a specific group of problems in the world. All right. You can go on DS's blog as well, SundayAdelajablog.com, and you'll see a lot of articles there that you can read up on. You can go to, once again, DS's YouTube channel, and you'll see all of the messages that he's got there. They're in series on the church, on prayer, on deliverance, on faith, on how to read the Bible, on how to, transform your nation, and all the other topics that many people, in fact, how to get married, what to know before you become a parent, how to be a good parent for those who are already parents, how to be a good husband and wife for those who are having family crisis and relationship crisis. Everything is right there on the DSA channel. So please go there as soon as you can and begin to listen. He said something, Bro Peter said something, he said while he was sleeping, he was listening. That's something that I do as well. And you can also do that on the go as you go to work, as you walk around and go about your daily duties at home. maybe some cleaning, maybe some, workout in the gym. You can use that time to as well enrich yourself, build your knowledge up, help give your life some direction so that you're a better person and you're a more effective tool in God's hands. A lot of people, God is just waiting for you to accept what he has called you to do so that he can unleash on you the resources and all that you need to become what it is that he wants you to be. A lot of it is already on the inside of you. All he needs is a yes answer, and he will take it from there. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please stay safe out there. And if you have challenges, please don't take the kind of risk that Peter took. Call the doctor, call the ambulance, go to the hospital. God does not need you to be extremely sick for him to show you a vision. Please stay safe out there, and we'll see you same time next week. Thank you very much, and bye for now. Remain blessed.